Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it. Caroline.
Karen, aye.
Kathy, aye. John.
And you wanted to table the resolution? Is that correct?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. I was, they admittedly were late, I mean, getting it all finished, so they had some vacations and stuff, so we, I mean, like I said, we didn't get it till late in the day, so we haven't really had, it's nothing. I mean,
Just haven't had time to go through it.
Yeah, I don't expect any surprises, but I could in good faith tell you that I came through.
So if you want to table it, then
I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll second it. Caroline.
Karen, aye.
Kathy, aye.
John.
all right. Peosta Community Center update.
Can I ask,
Yes.
let's table it till the next meeting, is that okay? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have any questions on my update? I think the biggest thing, we had that Dad and Daughter Dance. It's our first time we did it last Friday. We ended up getting 65 girls and then their dads. It ended up being a good turnout. It was fun. I think they all had a lot of fun.
Are you coming with the Wi-Fi? Still working on that, or?
Yes. I don't know if we're gonna do Wi-Fi. I don't know if we're gonna do like a cellular plan on the phone. I don't know exactly what we're thinking, but I do think we want to do credit cards. I think we'll see a very big boost in sales if that's the direction we take. So I just need to figure out the logistics of it.
Anybody else got any questions? You got anything for us, Stacy?
I do not.
No. Okay, moving on. Police monthly report. You're going to explain this to us,
Yeah,
Mike?
well, I guess the only thing I have for you for just kind of an update, Dean put up the 20-mile-per-hour signs here today on Peosta Parkway here, so they're up. I think you said you had one more to go, so that's ready to go for the most part. You're gonna get the other sign tomorrow. Okay, so that's a good thing done.
What about that gentleman's car that's parked on Peosta Parkway? That older classic model?
Yeah, I saw that there. You know, as long as it's moved every 48 hours for ordinance, I guess he's fine to park it there. I'll check with him, make sure it hasn't been moved.
Okay.
Because it's pretty close to at least 2 days that, I mean, if he
Well,
moves it
yeah,
an inch,
I
that's
saw
all
it.
that matters.
I
you
know,
what mean?
yeah.
So.
Talking the white one that's for sale?
Yeah, the white one for sale down there, yeah. But as long as it's 48-hour parking down there, there's not much you can do about it, and as long as it's being moved. And I believe he's doing that, but I'll check with him tomorrow on that.
Do we have anything on campers set up on the street?
No, I don't believe so.
I think it's on Bren. There's a camper set up, got the jacks down, the trucks on
And it
hold.
very well could be just they came home from, and I can check on that tomorrow too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it's been sitting there. They might have just pulled in tonight,
Right.
for all I know.
Yeah, I'll see if I can contact them tomorrow and just see what their
But I see
plans
that-
are. They may be wanting to pull it out tomorrow, who knows?
Yeah, they got it plugged in and the jacks are down and the truck's unhooked, and I didn't know what was going on there, so.
Okay. Yeah. Plan on talking to them tomorrow.
Okay, these scans we got here, Mike?
As for software, you're ready for that one?
No, the,
Okay.
Well, yes, those scans are part of the software.
oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, they just got put in the wrong spot.
All right, then we can do the software.
Okay, so the initial cost of the software was $7,461 for the quotes that I provided to you for the software. This software is called SumGuard, which is basically the same software as what Butte County and other area agencies use at this point. The reason why I would like to get it is for the record keeping reports, and just the accountability of officers. And you can see that in some attachments that were brought to you guys. I believe in the administrative file, if you haven't seen it, I provided Asbury's attachments of what it's going to look like, what you guys would receive for the events, the basic events, and the other one was the events by nature code of agency. If you can just take a look at that, basically that's what you guys would be getting every month instead of the synopsis. And I can still provide the synopsis, but there's really no point because all that information would be there. And you know, on the page of the basic event listings, the last page it shows, you know, the total number of events listed. Basically, that's the total number of cases that, you know, or the events that Asbury did for the last month. It's just better to have this kind of software. It's actually crucial to have it. What we have now, again, we've been running off Excel, and it's just not accountable. You know, with Excel on the computer, you know, people forget to save it. We can lose data. This is all record keeping through to you. Dubuque maintains this record keeping at all times, and it's just going to be better all for the department.
Is this really old, the stuff they have now?
We don't have technically any report software other than Trax. And Trax is where it's called Trax and Mock. And Trax is where we do our ticket writing and our warnings, our citations, and then our reports are on Trax. We have that currently, and that was set up. But to get in line with this, you know, with Dubuque, and the whole point of this other software too is we can get compatible with dispatch. They can give us the calls right by our computer screen. Doesn't have to go out over the radio. A lot of this stuff also, we can make our own calls for service. All we have to do is push a button on our screen and we generate our own calls for service. And that's all tracked by Dubuque. At any point I can get the records maintained by Dubuque at that point. There's portals and stuff that I can go through to get the records, and they're hooking me up with it. Now, I had an incident, the IT called me last night. There were certain things that they couldn't do due to the security breach. Since Peosta has her own computer system and Dubuque has their own, so it actually have a quote that's now going to be cheaper. And that's good and bad, because what I was asking for, why it's going to be cheaper, is I wanted each computer at our office to have a certain setup on their computers. Well, they can't do that due to a security breach. So what they're proposing now is that we can have it on one main computer at our office, which will work, and we'll still have it on our in-car computers to do reports. You know, we can do our reports from the cars, which that's what I want them to do anyway. But for major cases, say like sex assaults or burglaries or something like that, I would like them to do it from in the office because there'd be paper scattered. You know, it's just more convenient to do it in the office. So we can't do it from the office. We just have to go through a portal, what it's called. It's just not the same setup. So the new quote is actually going to be, just for the SunGuard software, is $4,680. The net motion is $595, and the to go to my PC software, which is an annual update, is $278, for a total now of $5,553 instead of the $7,461. So now it's going down to what they believe as an actual quote. They couldn't give me the hard copies because they had to go through the companies that provide this, but the way he figured it up, it was going to be the $5,553. And it should not exceed over $6,000 by any means. He believes that's what the quote's going to be. And I have no reason to believe why.
So the Central Square and the Sayers, are you getting those together, or?
Yeah, so all of that links up. You know, all these, they're like things, everything links up. So the SunGuard, the NetMotion, and they go My PC software. All these three, we need to correspond to make this all work together. I'm not an IT guy, but it's hard to explain it.
Right.
We'll make it work. if that makes it helpful to you. So yeah, what I'm asking is either if you guys want to just think about it, table it, or if you guys want to come to an agreement on purchasing, that would be wonderful. But this is kind of a need, not a want, but a need for our department to move forward. And if you basically get up with the times.
So right now, the only software we really have is to write reports.
Correct, that's what the current software is.
So this will keep track of
Calls for service.
everything that.
It's gonna do, basically, yeah, it's gonna do everything basically for us that we need. And it's even gonna communicate with dispatch now, where, you know, everything will link up with dispatch, where they'll send us calls to our screen without even having to go over the radio. We can make our own calls for service. Basically, it does everything for us.
How much time does it take to put together the synopsis roughly?
How long does it take, roughly? 20 minutes or so, you know, I mean, but the problem with that is what I have to do is go through to the Excel page, and from there, you know, you gotta count, you know, like basically add up, you know, how many traffic stops we had, how many motor vehicle, salvage vehicle inspections we had, you know, and so on. So you have to go down the list and count them all up. This is more convenient I can just show you, this is what we did, and this is what each officer did by that list that's provided to you. It's just kind of tells you a little more, I guess.
And the software is obviously not able to be edited. I mean, that Excel document
Correct.
changed by anyone at any time without.
And not that we have a problem with that, but it's a secure documents. They can't be changed, altered, or anything like that. When we get, you know.
And if they were to, it would be recorded. But
Correct.
that record was accessed at such and such a time, so.
What software did we get when we were finishing up the police department?
That was probably the same software, SunGuard, but the
No,
old sheet was
the software that you're talking about was the camera system, I believe.
Okay.
For the body cams and being able to download that into that separate server.
And one of my issues also was evidence coordination, having software for evidence. We didn't have like an evidence software. This is capable with it and is provided with this also, so we don't have to worry about getting another software for evidence. This is part of that. So the evidence will be taken care of, I guess, with this.
So in the police department budget, is there money for it?
Well, we didn't obviously foresee this exact purchase coming up. There is a little bit of room, mainly because we didn't have a chief the first month of the fiscal year. So, yeah, no, I mean, we didn't budget specifically for software, but we should be able to get to fit in the total expenditures for the year.
So when I first came to you guys about software, I believe I told you, if we were to alter our software the way we want it, and just our needs, it could run anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000, you know, to make it within what we want for our department. With this, we're doing it for about $5,000. And is it perfect? No. Is it pretty much what we need? Yes. And we can make it work with that.
What things does this not have that you want?
As in, like compared to
the $30,000 to $50,000?
pretty much.
Like if there's stuff you're gonna
No,
add to this, or
No, for the most part, I believe it's what we want. It's just some of the things that I was told we'll have to go through portals to access records, which that's minor. That's just an IT thing. We can't just go on the computer and just access the records. That's the only difference that I can see. It just makes it a little longer. If we need to access records, we just go through a portal that syncs in with the county into their terminal or their software. That's the only, I guess, I have downfall with it. Other than that, it has pretty much everything we need.
And this really makes, in my opinion, it looks like it makes it easier to hold people accountable.
I agree.
What's, in the end, what turns out to be the yearly cost, yearly maintenance after it's?
Yep, so I believe I have some of those numbers here. I
This
mean,
thing
some
won't
of these
turn the
numbers
right
change due to the price coming down. Here.
But there will be a yearly fee too.
There are yearly fees associated with it. Now that the cost did go down on these, so I don't have the exact number, but I believe, so the one fee was supposed to be $900 a month. Now we just changed that, and that was for the main sun guard. And now we're bringing that down to one, so I believe it's $300, not a month, I'm sorry, a year. So it's gonna be $300.
That's a little bit better, yeah.
So it's gonna be, I believe, $300 a year just for that portion, and then there was another $295 for the other portion, and then I think the other one was free setup or whatever for the year. So guessing roughly $500 or so a year. And I don't have those exact numbers just because everything went down in price. So this literally just came to me at 5 o'clock last night where they said they had changed it.
Okay, so then if they will definitely update at one point or another, are we gonna be responsible for that, or?
For all the updates, the county takes all care of the IT department, the county, they do all the updating, all the records, they do everything. That's what that yearly lease they make everything work with that yearly price that we pay.
Yeah, this 350 says it includes major version upgrades.
Yep.
So,
Oh, they're talking upgrade, not update.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What would need to be updated versus upgraded?
You pay for upgraded. Update they usually, well, with
Right,
Microsoft,
what would need to be updated?
Nothing, as far as I know, I don't know of anything that needs to be updated. If they have to update it, then,
Patch and point releases at no additional charge. So generally, that's when you talk about.
Security
update.
patches and what.
right, yeah, that's all provided with that.
But an upgrade would be a different story.
Yeah,
We'd
so
be
that,
paying.
so upgrades are specifically mentioned as well as patch and point releases. I think that probably covers everything.
Right. I mean, for the money is decent, I mean, for what we're looking at. And then we're compatible with the county, so it makes it just a lot easier for everything.
I think it'd be a good idea.
I do too.
So what happens to the other contractor, whatever we have?
The only thing we have is tracks and mock that for, I guess it's considered for our records. We still keep that. So for tickets, accidents, and for like what we call complaint affidavits, the charges we bring to the court, that'll all still be done on that system. So what we're getting now, the reports would be done on this new system, as well as the calls for service and as everything else. So the dispatching, it just makes the most sense.
I mean, it sounds like it's something that we need.
And you said they said it would not go over 6,000. You said 55.
Yeah, it's, from my understanding, what he gave me in an email here is $5,553.
That's for the software and the.
That's everything.
First annual.
Everything. Versus the 7461.
And our yearly costs, we don't know 100%.
And the yearly cost, I'm not sure on that, but it's gonna be dramatically less than what is in the quotes, just because we're losing, we're not getting everything they're saying on that quote. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna
Estimate.
guess, estimate 500, and that's just a guess.
$500 annually, right?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
I mean, I like the fact that it's gonna allow you to hold people accountable versus an Excel spreadsheet that, I mean, I can go in and change.
That's the reason, one of the reasons that
And not that anybody would do it, but it
I mean, are we managing?
it fixes the problem before it even happens.
Right, there you go.
So can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the software for the police department.
I'll second.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I.
John?
Do you
Okay.
want that to not to exceed 6,000?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Sure. And if it does, I will come back to you and let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You bet. Okay, Public Works monthly report.
Questions on anything?
You have all the old water meters changed out already, Dean, or no?
Only what we budgeted for last year.
Okay.
We'll start again here, hopefully, we're gonna bump it up earlier this year, maybe first part of November if possible. See how the fall goes here as far as weather. Stuff that we're gonna get done outside, but, yeah. Basically, the ones that are on the report are new construction houses.
Oh, okay.
So basically just installing the transmitters.
And how did the inspection on the water tower go?
Good, both towers were very good.
Looks like the repair of the dike did what it was supposed to do, right?
So far, yeah.
Looks good.
How are they coming on, Industrial Road down there?
So they've been shut down for some time. I just talked to Rob Horsfield again this morning. They're looking to get in there toward the end of the week here and start building catch basins. And then it's gonna be a matter of drying it out, you know, so they can get everything cut grade to start rocking it. They're thinking as far as soil stabilization, we're gonna have some extra rock on there, but I think we can limit that just because of the fact that it's not getting paved. You know, my opinion is with the last rock on there, it's got 3 years to recoup. It's gonna be going through a bunch of heavy traffic anyway with the wastewater treatment.
Yeah.
So, worry about the overdigging and the overabundance of rock, you know, when we're ready to pave is my opinion on it. I didn't make that note to him, but I'm gonna bring that to their attention when they think that they're gonna get an extra on that.
Salt, filled up salt shed?
We're about full, of course, we talked about blending. So obviously we have to empty it all back out when they're ready to blend, and we got them set up for the 1st of October. A little bit of miscommunication on their part. I thought we were scheduled for August, September as far as the blending. And the gentleman that I talked to in there switched positions or something of the sort and never relayed the message. So they called me a couple weeks ago wondering if they were gonna get the opportunity to blend it, and I told them that they were supposed to be scheduled. And they said, well, now we're booked up until October. And I said, well, as long as we get done. But I made them aware of the fact that the bin was about full, they're 3-footers full, and they said they were gonna take care of emptying it. And,
Blend it with sand or?
no,
The blend.
so I don't actually think that it's brine, because it's supposed to be non-corrosive, or less corrosive, I should say, so I wouldn't call it brine. I'm not sure what the liquid is, that they're blending it with.
Stuff from scats, right?
Yes. Yep. But we are scheduled for the 1st week in October for the blending process, and it sounds like it goes rather quick.
The county uses calcium chloride, but I think that's pretty
Calcium
corrosive.
chloride would be
Pretty
highly
corrosive. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we use on our salt and sand mix.
Okay.
Hopefully the snow doesn't fall out before October 1st.
I hope the snow doesn't fly before 1st of March and it's melting like 2 days later.
Okay, anything else for Dean? Dean, you got anything for us?
No, not really. The playground went rather well, rather quick. We are missing one pole down there, so there will be a delay as far as opening that. So construction's not complete to the point where we can open it up.
How long?
I never got an estimated time.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does.
That's been we're coming up a little bit short on the mulch too, so we ordered a couple more bags of that.
Mulch or the rubber?
The rubber mulch.
Okay.
Sorry.
So how did Maple Ridge come up needing done?
I mean, throughout the spring, and it was nothing that we foreseen before, you know, the spring and the summer. But as wet as spring was and as wet as June was, and with the garbage truck, you know, making that continuous circle down there, you know, and just basically pumping that same track all the time. Once it started opening up, I mean, that moisture just went down. I mean, it was just pretty much unpreventable.
So this is to tear out what's there?
This is a complete removal, and the removal's done by us on the entire cul-de-sac. So basically, they're gonna come in, do a final prep, and 4 inches of asphalt.
Does Maple Ridge have a cul-de-sac?
Yeah,
Yeah.
see right here it is.
I tried to get a good picture, but you couldn't really, it's like bubbling up.
Yeah.
Strange.
I mean, it's one of the things where we could saw a patch out, it's only gonna be temporary. We're gonna continue to chase that patch around. Like I said, the garbage truck just makes that, you know, continuous
Yep.
turn out there.
Well, the only thing I was thinking was, you know, it looks a lot like Brady Street. I couldn't tell the difference. And I was wondering if, you know, I was hoping that Brady Street would get patched a little bit.
Well,
And,
the street's gonna be redone
yeah, it's gonna get redone, but not till next year. I mean,
in the spring.
I mean, we can definitely throw some asphalt on some of the potholes.
I mean, if you, yeah.
I don't
And I don't
a lot of
know,
time out there.
I don't know whether Maple Ridge is in that category, that you could just do both of them, or whether you just want to do the whole resurface on Maple Ridge. It's just that I noticed they both need holes
I guess you
filled.
lost me a little bit on what you.
They just both need holes filled, if nothing else, right? But you want to
Like I said,
resurface.
we can definitely throw a patch in there.
But
But I mean,
like you
Throw
said,
patch-
if you take a look at it, like I say, it's a continuous turn of the garbage truck. So basically, it's a one-wheel path of the garbage truck then.
Oh, on Maple Ridge?
I'm not exactly.
See, I didn't really-
Start and stop.
I meant to look at it and I didn't.
Right, I was up there the other day.
It's probably more my own fault.
It's not great.
yeah, once it starts to do that, it's alligator, you're not gonna stop it, you're gonna have to,
Like I say, I mean, we could put a patch in this fall here, but,
Well,
basically next spring, we're gonna tear it off and we'll be chasing it, but then the patch is just gonna be bigger.
roughly what would a patch cost?
Roughly what would a patch cost?
I'm not
So
talking
a
about
patch is minimal, you know, depending on how big we go, that's the thing, I mean, looking at it, I don't know where to start and stop, basically. Without doing, you know, maybe a 15-foot area that basically borders the whole curve, or 20-foot. And then we basically got the whole cul-de-sac pretty much tore up and
that $13,000, I don't think is a bad price to redo that.
It's not too late in the year to do it, is it?
No, no.
I mean, it's hard to say on the price of a patch, that depends on how big it goes.
I know it's an open-ended question.
I can't really find a good start and stop point, is a reason I basically got.
Which is why you-
Price on the whole
yeah.
cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So how far up Maple Ridge would you come up with a resurface?
So basically, at the end of the cul-de-sac, at the end of the radius where it starts coming into 2 lanes.
Be just the circle, just the circle.
Yep, just the circle.
How far up is it from the circle to the end of the street? I mean, to the, is
You
there,
go to the intersection.
yeah, to the first intersection.
Oh, what do we got there, 4 houses maybe? So if an average lot was 90 feet, 100 feet,
So you have another 400 feet.
maybe 400 to 500 feet.
What's the rest of the street look like? I mean, is the rest of it in pretty good shape,
It's
or?
not too bad, I mean, we got worse streets in town.
I just
It's
thought,
actually not too bad.
okay.
It's not perfect by no means.
I just thought as long as they were there, I mean, just so we don't have to have them come next year again and do from where they left off up to the intersection.
No, I don't see that happening. And the thing of it is, with some of the other streets in Peosta Acres there, I think we can get by with a milling and resurface it without a complete tear out. With the exception of the cul-de-sacs, because they get that heavy turn traffic.
Right. Anybody want to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to do whatever it is you want to do there. I'm sorry, I should have gone up there and looked and I didn't.
Whatever. Aye.
Well, basically, it's leaf removal.
Usually I will go
And replace.
John, you seconded, right, John?
Sure, I'll second it. Limited to this.
I mean, keep in mind, there's gonna be rock included on, above and beyond this cost, and our.
That's on there. That's on the quote.
Well, I'm putting my faith in you know what the heck you're doing, so don't let me down.
You can always fire me.
Oh, you're not getting up that easy, huh? You're doing the street now.
Oh, it's out there.
You need to vote on that.
Carla, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John,
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we got our first curb cut permit.
Yes.
He does,
Feeling our way through these permits, but I think it should be pretty
he
self-explanatory.
doesn't have a driveway now?
He does.
Oh, he wants one on the other side of the street.
All of these are gonna be for second driveways.
Okay, I didn't, it's not, the one he's got now isn't right alongside this one, or where's the other one? That's what I was getting
He's
at.
actually got a corner lot.
Oh, yes, oh, okay, all right.
So is
Yeah.
You would have drove right past it when you said you went down around first.
I probably did.
I didn't drive Maple, but I did drive.
So the original driveway goes to Leslie.
I was down there too, come to think, but
so these on the west side of Leslie?
This one is
Yes.
south, yeah. And this one's south side of the house, yeah.
He's on the
yeah,
west side.
he's just
Right.
down there by where the driveway is to
He's on the
the
west side of the.
lift station, right?
And you guys, neither one of you guys
He's on
see
the
any
west
issues,
side.
any problems?
It'll be fine.
He's before.
I'll make a motion to approve the curb cut for Ryan Lehman.
We're just gonna call them curb cut permits. And
Perfect.
issue the numbers, so.
I'm gonna make a motion.
I'll second.
Carla abstains.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John,
Okay,
Barbara, do you have a reason for abstaining?
Oh, I see what it is. There's a writer down here. Who is it?
Thank you.
It's a nephew.
I just happened to see that writer name down there.
okay, second reading of ordinance 2019-07, an ordinance incrementally increasing sewer rates in city of Peosta.
Oh, we still have that.
I'll make a motion on the second reading of the ordinance 2019-07, an ordinance incrementally increasing sewer rates in the city of Peosta.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy,
John,
All right. Resolution approving purchase of property.
You'll see the offer to buy has been fully executed by both parties, so this is just the accompanying preceding resolution that needs to be approved. And all this documentation has been passed on to legal, and they're proceeding with title work.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution for purchase of property.
2019.
I'll second.
Carla, nay.
Karen, you.
Kathy, aye.
John,
Mayor.
Karen, what was your vote? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was yay, it wasn't.
Oh, I thought you said.
I was looking at something else. Sorry. I was trying to find out the resolution numbers, what I was doing. There it is.
I think it's 07, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it isn't. That's the sewer.
It's an ordinance.
rate.
Oh, no, it is. Was there an ordinance, resolution number on that one, Karen?
No, we never have the resolution numbers on there.
All right.
Never here, it'll be number 59.
Okay. All right, SRS sponsored project agreement.
So Jake is here from MSA, and he will be talking to you about this engineering agreement. I mean, I filled you in on the sponsored project last week, which we are continuing to move forward as the, our initial pre-application call will be scheduled here shortly, but I will let Jake talk to you and he can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I'm Jake Deaver. I work for MSA Professional Services out of the Dubuque office. I am a civil engineer. That's what I do. I've been doing municipal type work since I graduated college, so that's a dozen years or so. I guess as an introduction, I wanted to pass out some information, just company information. As a newer engineer in town, just to give you some basic generic information. So, working with Whitney on some Kelly Oaks Park stuff, so I include just our statement of qualifications, just generic marketing stuff on Parks and Rec stuff, municipal engineering that you guys might be interested, and then there's some generic corporate information. So, and then if anyone is going to the Iowa League's annual conference in Dubuque this year, we're having an open house afterwards at our office. It's right next door. So if you're going, on the back, there's a map. So we're gonna have, they had somebody who helped organize it, has a buddy that plays music. So there's gonna be live music, some beverages, appetizers. So if you're gonna be around, that would be great. Stop by, I will be there. So MSA as a company started as a survey partnership, a couple surveyors in rural Wisconsin, up by Baraboo. Since then, they've added engineering, incorporated in the 80s, added ESOP 20 years ago, and then 2 years ago transitioned to 100% employee-owned via the ESOP. 2 years ago, the half a dozen or so shareholders that were left sold to the ESOP. So 2 years ago, we transitioned to a 100% employee-owned company. We are approximately 325, depending on if we have interns on in the summer, so we'll probably drop to about 300 now that the interns are going back to school. So about 300 employee owners. Wisconsin, we're heavily in the Wisconsin market, obviously, with that being the original market for the company. Minnesota, we have 4 offices in Iowa, Illinois. So full service, architect, engineering, whatever you guys might need, I'm sure that we can provide. So the agreement in front of you tonight is for the SRS sponsored projects. It's just a time and material agreement to help Whitney and attend some of the project initiation stuff. And whenever Whitney might need a lean on us for some application stuff, we can help her with that. Just a time and material agreement for $3,700. I included some rough schedule that's kind of just to be decided. So the project initiation meeting, the DNR has to schedule that. They've sent out a scheduling tool to help assist in scheduling that. They're looking at doing it next week. It has not been set yet. Design concept site visits. So prior to them approving the application, there's also a site visit. You can find it on the DNR sponsored project website, where basically we work with, they call them urban conservation experts or something. So it's probably going to be someone from IDOLS or land stewardship, someone like that. It's going to come out and we'll walk them through the watershed, our ideas for some water quality improvement stuff, and they'll agree, disagree, come up with a priority, and then that's how you get access to the SRS sponsored project money. Just a time material agreement. The scope is really the meat and potatoes of the agreement. Just kind of recap what the sponsored project program is. Included a few scope items for application and coordination. This is pretty bare bones at this point, so we're not sure exactly what the DNR is going to require. This includes some meetings, some coordination, maybe going to Catfish Creek meetings as requested and as required. So we're not just going to show up to council meetings and Catfish Creek and start billing you guys. So as we continue to work on this, and as Whitney wants us to show up, we'll show up. So a couple of exclusions I wanted to note was the watershed assessment and the assessment of the impact of water body and its watershed. So both those items are required by the program. However, you guys have an extremely active Catfish Creek watershed, and also the city of Dubuque, the county's extremely active too. So they have a countywide VMP study that they're doing right now with Houston Engineering. I don't think they've quite done this sub-watershed, but they got a good chunk of the county done. And then Catfish Creek has their entire watershed management plan that includes a portion of Peosta, not all of it. So some of that we might be able to utilize that planning information and not have to redo it and save that money, but we'll find out after the project initiation meeting when we start chasing it. So we did this in LaPorte City. I think that was the most recent one. I think that watershed assessment cost $20,000 just to give you a ballpark, depending on what the DNR is looking for.
So I'm a little lost. What are you doing? I mean, it's an estimated fee of $3,700, and you're doing. Is this for the grant for the park, or?
Well, yes. So that's our sponsored project. That's a program that's available because you're doing a wastewater upgrade. Mm-hmm. So basically what they end up doing is taking the interest off, and instead of paying the interest on that loan back to the state, you can use it for water quality improvement projects in the watershed. Okay. Right. So some of that money might be able to go to the park, like the stream bank stabilization that they looked at doing. Mm-hmm. Permeable pavement's an option, but you have to go through the planning process. So this is just an initial contract to work with Whitney, attend the project initiation. If you look at the scope, kind of just the application and coordination body of the scope is kind of where I described what we're doing. Project initiation meeting, as requested and required, attend Catfish Creek meetings, attend city staff meetings, council work sessions. So instead of a planning document, if the DNR just wants us to build on the Catfish Creek whole watershed management plan, and maybe we just pick out some pieces out of that and submit it, then we'll go that route. Coordinate with Catfish Creek and SRF on utilizing the existing watershed plan, attend design concept review and site visit. So it's basically just administration and coordination support with Whitney to get the ball rolling on this.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, it's time and material. So I mean, I'm going to handle everything that I can, but there are aspects of this with the DNR and IDOLs that are engineer level conversations and information that has to be provided. So we need to have this in place so he can get paid for providing those services to us until we get green lighted on the project. I mean, once we get green lighted on the project, then we'll shift into project, and that'll have to be designed. I mean, that would be a whole different thing. But like we mentioned at the last meeting, they estimate it's around $100,000 per million that you're borrowing that could be available. So it's a very large sum of money. And something that Jane mentioned, I mean, that we're not to that point yet, but if we do get green lighted, then engineering costs are reimbursable under the grant. So, you know, we got to get approval at a certain level till those costs are reimbursable, but if everything goes as planned, then MSA's charges will able to be paid for by this grant. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's water quality projects to improve water quality in the watershed. Some of the stuff we've done is like bioswales, rain gardens, stream bank stabilizations, permeable pavement. It may or may not be able to, so like the parking lot that we're looking at developing out in Peosta Park, if you make that permeable pavement, it might make the cut. But where that's a new development, IDOLs might frown on that, to where that's not really the intent of the SRS sponsored project money, whereas if you were maybe reconstructing an alley somewhere, which we've had success getting those funded, and making that permeable pavement, because then you're taking out impermeable surface and making it permeable with some stormwater treatment benefits as well, to where if you're developing a new parking lot, they might not view it that way. But I mean, we can enlist it in the plan, and the DNR and IDOL and those experts, they're going to steer the bus, and this is just, and depending on how that comes. So like what he said, there's going to be, if it goes through, there's going to be other stuff. This isn't a design contract to design the stuff. It's not a watershed assessment plan. None of the planning documents. Is just to be on board and hopefully get the ball rolling for the programs.
So myself and Jacob talked with Eric Schmeckel, and so getting him on board is a huge part of this. So it's a benefit definitely that Jerry serves on that board, and he's got a good relationship with Eric. So Eric will be involved in this pre-application call. So we're trying to get everything lined up. I see the benefit is these projects at Kelly Oak are, like, the stream bank is going to have to be stabilized in some manner. So this is, money we can be ahead, because we're going to have to lay out some dollars at some point. And the parking lot, there will be some type of service there at some point. So it only makes sense to give this our best college try.
If we get this grant, we use it as we see fit on anything that's in this?
So it's, you develop the watershed assessment and look at BMPs or projects that you would like to do within the watershed. And then it used to be that way that if you qualified, you basically got to spend the money as you see fit. Now they want to involve IDOLs or other, what do they call them? So on the attached at the end of the contract, I included just a basic kind of leave behind handout that IOSRF has on their website. We have to, SRF is going to lean on, what do they call them? It's the IDOLs land stewardship people. They call them urban hydrologists, I think. So they're going to either say yay or nay on stuff. So if like that parking lot, it's going to be a new parking lot. It's not a replacement of an existing parking lot or something. So they may or may not be
on board with that
because it's a new development. It's adding new impermeable surface.
But we're gonna have to be upfront with the projects that we want to present to them, and then they will say yes or no to.
The typical process is that you do, like what it talks about on these last 2 pages, you do a watershed assessment and look in the whole watershed, and we would coordinate with guys like Dean that know where there's problems with stormwater, and we would look at those and say, okay, well this, we could do a retention pond here, here's some stream bank stabilization, maybe on this road we could reconstruct it, put permeable pavement, that might help. So you would go through and identify all those, not all within corporate limits. Some of that money is probably going to end up being spent outside corporate limits in the watershed, but that's all IDOL's direction. So you get heavy amount of input, but you don't get 100% say on where the money goes.
But we do also have the opportunity then, there could potentially be other things that through this process we are identifying other projects outside of Kelly Oaks. So that's just what means in Kelly Oaks is when
It's just the starting.
Yeah, that's how he identified this as a good opportunity for us. So.
Well, there's definitely things in Kelly Oaks that we're going to need to use towards this.
We're going
I was over there 2 weeks ago playing some disc golf, and it needs, as far as the valleys that I'm not going down, it needs.
Yeah, the trail can't be approached at all until the street banks are stabilized and we figure out how we're going to cross those things or go around them, or there's a lot of steps.
So this is an avenue to get that stream bank, and it's 100% paid for via the SRS sponsored project. Because that's definitely, I would say that's probably more likely than doing a permeable pavement parking lot out there. Is them being on board with doing a street bank stabilization out there.
I'll make a motion to pass this engineering agreement for SRF sponsored project. That work?
I'll second.
Caroline?
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
Joy?
Okay. Citizen comment? None? Other? Do you have anything else?
Just think Dean and I were chatting really briefly about that cap drive quote. I don't know if you all saw. I emailed it to you 2 Fridays ago, I think.
For the milling?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big number. But
Yeah.
I don't know if, I guess I don't know that there's probably not a lot of discussion, but that needs to go on. I just wanted to make sure that we had that for, doing our diligence to collect information, but
Yeah, that's a lot of money for
Something.
all the unknowns that we'd end up with.
Basically the last resort.
What's that, Dean?
I said it's basically the last resort,
Yeah.
you know?
Have we gotten, please around here to take a look at that? So,
I have never gotten them to respond. Which is, and I did some more checking in on that. I talked to some other contractors that do that type of sealing, and I haven't heard nothing promising to that matter. So I think that would be a complete throwaway.
So,
Especially coming into this time of year, I think by the end of next spring, it's probably gonna be all removed by the
Yeah.
plows.
are we gonna go, when we finish Industrial Drive and get the sewage treatment plant in, are we gonna redo CAP then? Is that what we got in mind?
I think we definitely need to make it a priority. I mean, it's obviously a heavy used street, and it's only getting busier.
Well, gee, they must not have done a good job the first time.
it definitely wasn't some years old. Yeah, and it definitely
You were in
was,
charge then, weren't you?
it
You're the only
definitely
one in town.
was not designed to support the traffic that it's seeing now.
That's true.
That's a good thing. That
Yeah.
It is.
beyond everyone's expectations.
It is a
I
good
mean,
thing.
considering that it didn't cost the city any money, it did help out rather than.
Yeah.
It's only rough up at that one end, the rest is tolerable, so I don't.
Intense workout.
The people on my bus tour today said it was rough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know, but what road isn't in Dubuque County?
It's definitely rough. I mean, the more you travel, it depends on what you're in, especially if you're in a dump truck or something, that's where you definitely notice it. And I honestly don't believe that there's one horseman that ain't better than the rest.
No.
It is going to be patched this month.
Hopefully next week we're gonna start on some patching down there. I don't know if it's gonna take some coordination, I don't know. So in addition to that 78,000 or whatever that milling cost was, we're gonna be looking at another 15 to 20,000 for patching. So yeah, you're on the short side of 100,000.
Better get better air seats is all, I guess. But it won't be that long before we redo the road, will it?
I'd be looking at 5 years.
We'll start designing it likely.
Well, yeah, we'll have to start designing, but I'm saying before we start seeing, before the construction,
So we're not doing it while we're building the plant.
What's that?
We're not doing it while we're building the plant.
No.
Right, but that's only gonna be 2 years.
Yes, sometime in the next 5 years. It's gonna be a big project though, I think the design is gonna take a year and that stuff. It's a long road. It's good, all good stuff.
Anything else?
motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Caroline?
Karen, I-
Kathy.
We are adjourned.
I'm gonna go find this party.